Like, yo, what up, what up? From HYPEBEAST Radio, I'm Manny, and this is Mic Line, a show that looks to discover the origin story of your favorite artist or major player in the music industry. We ask the questions that you always wanted to get answered, and you never know who may pop by. For the episode of Mic Line, we talked to Cole, Brian, and Regina about what constitutes a Song of the Summer candidate, our favorite projects of the year so far, and a ton more. Welcome to Mic Line. All right, this is Mic Line. This is the season premiere, season 4. This is something that me and my producer, Christina, who's over here on my left, we talked about, and something with Jeff. We all talked about with Jeff Staples, who's head of everything podcast, so HYPEBEAST. We were like, let's start the music podcast with a roundtable. We did one last season, and it went really well. Got a lot of reactions, so we were like, yeah, let's start the season and end the season with roundtables, just because, you know, I love talking music. So my name is Manny, and I have 3 wonderful guests, and I'll let them introduce themselves.
What's up? I'm Regina. I'm a music journalist with bylines in places like Billboard, Genius, Hot 97. I love all music, of course, but in recent years, I've stuck to more like hip hop and R&B stuff. So if you hear me, you know, have a little bias in that today. That's why. But yeah, I'm excited to talk music.
My name is Cole Cuchna. I'm the creator and host of the Dissect podcast, which is on Spotify. And just a brief explanation of what Dissect is. Every season of Dissect, I pick one album, and every episode of that season, I dissect the music and lyrics of one song. So thanks for having me.
My name is Brian Joseph. I'm a weekend editor at Complex, and my work has been found at Pitchfork, Stereogum, GQ, Billboard, Entertainment Weekly, and a few others, but I don't want to take too much of your time.
It's an hour list.
We could be here all
I wanted all 3 of y'all to come here because y'all all have very different tastes in music, all have different backgrounds. Cole, like, I've been listening to your podcast since the Kanye one, and I was like, instantly shared it with like all my friends. Like,
oh, sick.
This is amazing. I've never heard or listened to a deep dive like this before. So when the opportunity came up, I was like, oh, definitely.
Yeah.
So I think we want to talk about, I'm always in discussion for the last, I want to say 2-3 weeks, especially with summer now officially starting, last Saturday. What is the song of the summer? I'm honestly not sure. I feel like this is the first time where I'm just like, have like a straight list, like, okay, yeah, this, okay, yeah, that, definitely this. Like, I think God's Plan came out around this time. Mm-hmm. And so that was just like, yeah, this is clearly the biggest song right now. I think the closest thing maybe is Act Up by City Girls, but then I'm just like,
that was more like a spring break type of moment, in my opinion.
Yeah, so I'm like, I'm not sure if that's a song of the summer. So I'm just like, open up to everyone, like, what's a song you think personally for you is like, this will be played every day during my summer, and then stuff that you hear from outside of your circle at parties or whatever.
Well, before we jump in, I would curious to know what the criteria of Song of the Summer is for you guys.
Yeah, because I was thinking, is it like, what do you think that like is objectively gonna be the song of the summer, or like what you think deserves to be the song of the summer? That's
what I'm curious about. I'm always curious about like, what person do you think of? Because I think there's songs that like that's gonna be played. Like, you're gonna hear certain songs played everywhere you go to. I'm very curious about like what is like you're playing with your friends or in the house, and you're like, yeah, this is my song. So I want to start off with that. And then we can go to like, all right, let's talk about what do you think will essentially get the party started.
That's an interesting concept, because I think about a lot of songs that I'd play, but it wouldn't like necessarily be everywhere. Let's say Paper Cardi's Kid Cudi with Young Nudy. It's like, it should be these songs you should hear everywhere, but it leaked. So by nature, it can't like, it's because it's such a fire. Everything's about this fire, but it won't hit the Billboard because it won't own it.
That song will be a top 10 song if it officially leaked.
Exactly.
And then I was asked around about it, and then they wouldn't give me a straight explanation, which is a typical music business stuff.
Yeah.
But that song is amazing. And it was just like, damn, if that was a song, like, how big would Nudy be right now? Would Cardi album be coming out sooner? But yeah, I think, Pissy Pammer, Kid Cudi, I think that's definitely a favorite.
Mm-mm. Also stuff from Solange's album too. Like you pick Benz Almeida, if I'm pronouncing it right.
Yeah.
Yeah. When you listen to the song, they like say sun in a sense, but like structurally it doesn't have like a bit of flair that you'd want in like something that hit like the top 10 or whatever.
Yeah.
But like when you hear like Benz, you just feel like joy. It's like you're here.
Yeah.
You know?
I think that's what my definition of a song of the summer, quote unquote, is. It's just like something that makes you happy.
Yeah.
Like it's just like whatever situation, you're just, wow, yeah, total mood change.
Like to your point, you mentioned God's Plan.
Yeah.
You, even though it came out like what, like maybe like winter, springish. When you, even if you don't think it's Drake's best song, you immediately think like it feels like a breath of fresh air. You're refreshed, like you're drinking like, I don't know, a pina colada.
Yeah.
That's what happened with Bodak Yellow, and that's why that was like undisputed, like the song of the summer before that. So like, I agree that like we don't have that yet, where it's like, okay, like this is a song of the summer, so it's very up in the air right now. But my pick right now would be, do you guys know Coffee, the Jamaican artist? She has Toast. That is that feel good thing that a song of the
Toast
summer
is really
should
good.
be. And it came out, as you were saying, like in like November. Like they don't have to come out like what's the first day of summer? Like June 20 something. I feel like it's still around, and it's, when you're out brunching or like partying, I always hear that song, and it gets like everyone so happy. So
Seeing that happen is like really interesting, because I remember it immediately when Toast came out, because I got the email and I was like, I have no idea who this is. And so I was like, let me check it out. And I remember listening to it, and I was like, this song is incredible. And I was thinking like, it came out, this is like you said, I think it was November, December. And I'm just like, man, this song is incredible. Like this would sound really great in perfect weather. So then I'm watching it, and like, I'm starting to hear it in different places. Like I'm starting to hear it in like friends groups who are so far removed in music. I'm just like, wait, like, how did you know this? And like, oh, I just saw it on YouTube. Oh, I just saw it on social media, Twitter. And so I'm just always curious of like how that, like a song just lasts for this long. But yeah.
To me, well, I don't know if this is a new development, I guess, with like social media and stuff, but like last year's song of the summer was like Drake's, was the one with the dance.
In My Feelings?
Yeah, In My Feelings, which like to me was like kind of a sleeper on, or got lost in the views, 25 tracks or whatever. And then when I feel like that the dance part of it, the social aspect really propelled it to be last year's song of the summer.
Yeah.
I think that's like the consensus one, not my personal one, but I'm kind of waiting for, like, in terms of the consensus side of this discussion, I'm kind of waiting for that cultural moment to develop.
Totally.
So I haven't really seen it yet. I don't know if you guys have anything in mind, but I just personally haven't seen that moment yet.
you mean like more of like it's taking over like social and like culture?
Yeah, like if you hear it everywhere, I feel like you're gonna have to hear it on social somehow nowadays. And I think last year really kind of crystallized that with Drake.
Yeah,
because like last year was like kind of a competition between Cardi B. What was that big song? It was the sample.
I know you're talking about. It's not I Like It Like That.
Yeah.
It was that one. Yeah.
Because I had like nostalgia like sample, it, like
very much
had
so.
like the Latin vibes and feel good. But once the viral thing went with In My Feelings, that kind of overtook it. So I don't think we have the song of the summer yet. But I guess my personal one would probably be something from Ventura from Anderson .Paak.
Yeah.
Like that whole album is summer to me. Like from start
Make
to finish.
It Better was
Make It Better is like
Oh
my
my
favorite on
God.
that. But also King James is
really
good.
The song with Brandy, I listened to all Jet Black. I
yeah,
listened to that. I'm a huge Brandy fan, and so when I heard that, I was like, oh wow, this definitely reminds me of like when I was a kid and just like bumping Full Moon or something like that. But I definitely. I'm thinking about it. I'm not sure if there's a song or there's anything even close to being that consensus pick. I'm really thinking like.
I feel like we're in the time where everyone's kind of lobbing their singles to like to make
like how
it.
we're doing now. Like I think this one deserves to like be it,
or
but
like just in like artists releasing singles right now that are very summery. Like
I have a feeling that either Drake or Rihanna, they're gonna swoop in and do that and
Rihanna,
get
I
the
think,
song.
is gonna-
I have a feeling. I feel it that she's coming. I just like we're like seeing her more lately. Like she's doing some interviews lately. So I don't know. She has something up her sleeve. So, and And I feel like that's what the people want too, so I don't mind that.
Because like I feel like the people that you think would have the song in summer kind of like let us down. And DJ Khaled, not a good year for him.
Right?
I feel like he was
It's
so
not a good
sure
year.
he had literally 10 options to become Song of Summer, and people weren't like picking it up, like the public.
I'm so surprised because like when I would listen to the album, I don't know, it just didn't, like the last project, you knew for a fact once you heard
Exactly.
Rihanna, Bryson Tiller, the combination, I was like, never thought they would get together. But then it sounded so good. You were like, yeah, that's it.
Yeah.
Like
And you're like, that's what DJ Khaled does.
Yeah.
But then on this album, it could not get any bigger. He got the biggest names you could get. And still, like, which one is the Song of the Summer? Like,
I think, yeah.
It's like when a super team in the NBA fails or something.
Right?
It's just
Seriously,
like,
100%.
they got the most talent, but
It's
they
just
just couldn't put it together.
What just happened?
Yeah,
What just happened there? You know what's crazy? I was thinking about the Lakers team back in the day when Gary Payton and Karl Malone came on, and you just watch them
I
like,
was just about to say that.
you're watching them like, oh, this is bad basketball.
but like, how? Like, scientifically, how did that happen?
I don't know. Maybe it was just too much.
And I'm with DJ Khaled. Like you said, one of the biggest points is Lil Nas X. I feel like people wasn't saying he was gonna make like a great album, but you thought he'd make like another banger.
I like Panini though. I like
Panini's video, but it's like a little bit too cutesy for me. You know, like
I like it.
it's like I can't imagine that at a kickback. Panini.
I guess.
But why is that your criteria? Like, it has to be good at a kickback. I thought we were talking about bangers right now.
Yeah.
I think he's saying it's like he expected another, I guess, huge hit.
Do you not like the song, or you just think it wasn't big enough to follow up Old Town Road?
No, I just don't like the song. And it's
no, I
like,
don't like it.
and to your point with Old Town Road, is like, I feel like it's kind of slowing down a little bit.
Of course,
the Old Town Road is.
I don't know. It just
wait, but
it's the 12th week. I think it's probably going to do 13.
Yeah,
no
13.
other.
We're saying it's slowing down, but it's still like number one. Like,
It is, but I feel like 14th week is gonna drop off. But I feel like what with that is like with Old Town Road, you'd expect it to like follow up with like a song that's like kind of half as good as energetic as Old Town Road. But now it's like you look at Nas X, it's like are you a little bit of a fraud? A little bit.
I feel like he's in the. It's like the success is awesome. You know, the songs obviously
Really
undeniable.
Yeah.
But you know, you saw this with like Panda and Designer, where it's
Right.
like the song gets so big
It's
that
so
like
massive.
how is anyone gonna live up to that as their first hit?
yeah, I was about to
Cardi's
say,
amazing,
Cardi did
'cause
it
she
though.
honestly-
Yeah.
That's what everyone was thinking. They were like, how could you even follow this up? And she
And
did.
it took her
She's
a long
still here,
time,
like
though.
hot as
It
ever.
took her a long time. I
Yeah.
mean, when did Old Town Road come out? Do you guys remember?
It came out. This is the 13th. This is the 12th week. It's on Billboard, which means like it came out. I want to say last year. I would say last year, like late last year, late last
Because
year.
what was the duration between Bodak Yellow and Cardi's first album? I mean, it was like over a year,
like,
right?
it was, yeah,
She
it
has
was a
been
year.
rapping for a while.
Which was
yeah.
was a
really
year.
smart and strategic, and it's like maybe that's the move, and maybe coming out with the little EPs not, you know, especially when you have a song that's already still very prominent. So it's going to be interesting to watch where he goes. I'm really
Pitchfork
interested.
ripped the EP. I was like, God damn! I love the writer too. If I'm
I think
Like,
it was.
shit.
I loved reading the article because I personally thought it was like really fun to read the way he wrote it. But I just didn't agree because I'm gonna just say it right now. I don't know if it's like my age showing or something, but I really want Lil Nas X to do well.
Me too.
I really do. Like,
I-
I don't see why people are like, oh, he's gonna fall off. Like,
And I wanted a decent song in the EP, but didn't get
Panini
that.
is good. I'm telling you, you're gonna hear it at a party and be like, oh, okay. You're gonna dance to it and you're gonna be like, holy shit, that's the song.
It was like
this is a song I didn't like.
it was like Old Town Road. This is a podcast, but I'm doing this like high hand thingy. Old Town Road, Panini. My hand is lowering a little bit more, and then like everything else, I have family, and it's like, what are you doing, man?
Yeah.
you know.
I was surprised that the Drake 2-pack. I listened to both of them and I was like, this is really cool. This is nothing like the other 2-pack from last
Right?
year.
Yeah.
I feel like low-key nobody, maybe it's just the people I follow or whatever, but like people haven't been talking about it this week. Like it already like died down, even though it was such a big
It's
moment.
still number 2 on Spotify. Check, because I was curious
It is-
about that.
what?
The one with Rick Ross. But I thought this
That was
was
the better. Yeah, that was. I feel like that's like because Rick Ross and him, they worked really well together.
maybe I was like expecting more because of I thought he was going to address the championship more. I was waiting for the board man
It'll be
to
like
get
a
paid
trophies
line.
type of
Where's the
vibe.
board man get paid
It's a
line?
layup.
Yeah. It seems like he had this plan for a while. So, but
But he does have one with No Guidance with Chris Brown. That song's
Oh, yeah.
So that song is great, but just because of the baggage with Chris Brown,
Right,
I
yeah.
think that's why that song isn't as big as it is. But that song is just objectively great. It's just like
better than Tupac.
it
It
definitely is.
Yeah, I
But
think
it's-
all people would agree that.
And shout out to Nah, she did like a really good remix with it, which and I like just downloaded it to my phone. But yeah, just because of the baggage with Chris Brown, I'm not sure people were going to play it. I know for a fact
They're not letting
people-
it be as great
I know
as
for
like
a
it
fact-
is.
Yeah, I know for a fact people not going to grab to it, which rightfully so because of the history. Go ahead.
I was just say one thing that's interesting about trap music is that and in contrast with like the songs of the summer, trap music by kind of definition is like dark and ambient, and they're usually like minor keys, and it's just. I was trying to think like how could you make a song of the summer that is trap, which is the prominent genre. It's like I'm really interested to see if someone could come up with that, because all the songs of the summer of the past, in terms of like the definitive one, it's usually lighthearted. It usually has some aspect of nostalgia by a sample or just by a general mood or whatever. So I'm trying to think like how would someone, if you're deliberately trying to get that song in the summer and you're in the trap space, which a lot of people are, like how does that kind of work?
Future did perfect
I
it.
was just gonna say, I would feel like
just about to be like
he's the closest. He's the one that, but I don't think he like purposely says songs or something. I think he just makes these trap records, and then like people just gravitate toward it so ferociously that it becomes the song of the summer, quote unquote.
he puts stuff out and then lets the people pick.
Like 56 Nights, a lot of dark and rapid stuff, but like watch Matt, well not much, trap niggas. That was undeniable that summer. I remember that. But it's funny because like since then he had Future's Hendrix. Hendrix was released, but it sounds summery, but it didn't stick.
Yeah.
Which is weird. Same thing with The Wizard. You think it had bangers, but it still didn't stick.
Yeah.
I'm curious to see if whether Xanax Damage or government officials gonna stick from Safety, because those are really good, but you never know.
Yeah.
I'm curious about Future as an artist, and I don't want to take the conversation somewhere crazy, but
Please.
When you talk about that could be its own.
Yes.
like what
we can go
is
there.
like what in your guys' opinion, what is Future's status right now? Like what? Because it seems
is
like
he?
I don't like. What do you think the perception of him now, generally speaking, is?
I think he's I don't know. I think people may be getting used to his music, in a sense where that like he had such a crazy run. Like what was it, 2014, 2015? Like just like
March Madness era.
Warrior, Golden State Warriors like run. Yeah. Like this is clearly like he's untouchable. And then he got to a point where I knew as soon as we got to that Esco and Future tape, I was like, okay, this is kind of not. I'm like, there's nothing different, you know. Like I thought DS2 was his peak. I was like, yo, this
it
is
definitely was.
this is fucking I was like, yeah, this is easily one of the best albums of the year, top 5. It was just perfect. But then you just started to see some decline, or not decline, but just like it was nothing new. But then you got something new with the 2 projects with what was it called? Future. What's it called?
Was it the one that just-
Hendrix and Future.
Yeah.
I was like, okay, this is really good. And then I was like, Super Slimy. I don't know what that was.
Yeah, that kind of fell away, didn't it?
That just felt like they was in the studio and they thought they caught a moment and it was just like, nah, probably just 2 or 3
not
songs
quite.
from it. Beast Mode 2 was cool.
Oh, I like Beast Mode too.
Yeah.
Dodo was fired.
And then like Future of Juice WRLD, that was okay at times. It was just became okay for me. And so
I feel like people have been saying for years, like, oh, Future sounds the same. And then now people are actually like, okay, wait, maybe they're right. But I think his fan base is just way too strong. Like Future Hive is like a real ass thing.
100%.
So he'll never fall. I don't want to say never, but I don't think he's far from falling because he just has such a loyal
100%.
fan base.
I'm critical of him, but I'm very much a loyalist in the Future Hive. So whatever he puts out, I'm going to listen.
Yeah,
completely,
even if it sounds the same, I'm gonna listen to it
and be like, all right, yeah, I got these couple of songs from it, and I'm taking it from there. I have a question though, because I think what's affecting like this the song of the summer debate, whether it's either your personal taste or just objectively these songs are just everywhere. It's do you think because of streaming and just because like everything is just like put it up, why not? And then like now it's at least 10 projects every week now, like across the board. And that's like minimum of new music coming out. So that's just give or take. That's like 100+ songs every Friday, Thursday night, so midnight. So I'm just like, do you think it's because of the output is so crazy now, and then as a consumer it's just too much? Because there's definitely projects that came out like a while ago and I'm just now listening to.
Right, yeah.
Or do you think it's just music just isn't that good right now?
I think you need that 10 seconds worth of magic. Like with Mo Bamba, you have like the production cutting out and just like rest cursing out, and it comes to hit. Bobby Shmurda, The Hat.
Yeah.
So you just need that couple seconds of magic, and it's like it's not enough to make a good song anymore. It just needs to hit the right way at the right time. It's a sense of timing.
Yeah. I think that like you could still like streaming has been this way, and it's always been like, oh my god, there's so much music, but there's still hits like Old Town Road, and like you're still able to have that it moment regardless of all this content being pushed out. So like I think it doesn't impact it because you could still have that song of the summer. You just have to make it the song of the summer.
Yeah, I guess for me, it like maybe goes back to the whole trap thing that I was thinking about. Like, I feel like we're getting to the point with trap music specifically, and that aesthetic, it is becoming so formulaic that it's so easy to put out those songs. But then I was thinking, like, how would you differentiate yourself within that sound? And I think that goes back to what you were saying, is that just that magic, that unpredictable magic of someone just gets it, you know? Because if you remove the art, the rapper from or the singer from a trap beat, they're all kind of working in the same aesthetic. Like it's very hard to tell a lot of them apart sometimes. So I think that might fuel it. That's kind of where I am in terms of just how I listen to music. I love some songs in the trap aesthetic, but a lot of them just wash together to me, and it's hard to stick out. And I think because it's so popular now that you're seeing even more of that saturation.
Well, I think what's cool is like the one or two artists that like really, you have the Hot Girl Summer. And there's a whole, like Megan Thee Stallion and
Cash is definitely.
And Stereogum just fucked on started a whole movement. Yeah. So even though like Cash it, like I'm thinking like you have the baby doing his thing in the back. Yeah. And like I've been in denial of the hook. I remember I have a girl and she's like, yo, it's about to be a hot girl summer for me. I'm like, you got a man, you got to chill, you know?
It's not about being single though. Real hot girl. No, but I was about to say.
No, I'm just saying it's like really cool. It's like when I think about songs of summer, it's like those artists like the couple of ones that really started the movement this summer. Yeah. And it's interesting to see how it's gonna develop. Yeah. You know?
What do you think Lizzo has a chance to break through?
I
feel like she's on the rise pretty hard right.
I think Juice, I really love Juice. I'm like, yo, this song is really, really fun, and it's a personal favorite of mine. I think it needs to be played on the radio more and to get that grasp. But I think that song is fantastic. Like I play it like in multiple group settings, people be like, "Oh shit, what song is that?" And, and I think she is having a moment, especially now at the BET Awards when Rihanna was applauding her. I was like, "Oh man, if they don't fucking use this moment and just like share that everywhere, like." This is it. Like this is super dope, and it's cool because she took. I don't want to say a hit, but it was that whole Pitchfork shit,
the review
thing that happened before earlier in the year when she was just like, if you not a musician or whatever, you shouldn't be judging music. It's like, damn.
She said it all caps too.
I'm not familiar with what happened.
So her album came out and Pitchfork did a review and they didn't shred it. They just, I guess it just said like, you compare yourself to Aretha Franklin, but you're not there yet, essentially. The writer, I totally forgot her name. Yeah, she's an amazing writer. And so it's like a fair criticism. And so for like a second, you can definitely tell Lizzo probably read it and was like heated, or just the score was heated and was like, yo, if you're not a musician, you shouldn't be reviewing music. And it was like, damn, like, come on, why'd you do that? We were all rooting for you. But I think she she played it off okay, and then she rebounded now and like just let the music speak for itself, and it's working. So to end the statement, like I think she has a shot to be a really good summer.
I honestly think she took a hit with that amongst like media people, but like everybody else, they don't care because like they don't write reviews anyway. So
they probably agree with her.
Like me, I was like, damn. But everybody else like doesn't even know what happened. So
that's a good point. That's a good point. It's probably like just like people, the writers are like, oh man, what sucks, and everybody else is like, yeah, man.
Like you're right. They don't even know what it's like. Like
I think the thing about Lizzo, her music is a bit too positive, isn't it? When you think about Song of the Summer, it's like it's very individualistic. Like
you mean did you say it's too positive?
Yeah, in the sense of like when you think about other songs, like I gotta put my phone on your neck, these bitches.
Yeah,
pretty much, you know. But Lizzo's like we're all this together.
But then, but in God's plans though is like
I thought the
positive.
Song of the Summer is supposed to be positive, fun. We're gonna go out today, like. I don't know,
positivity, putting your neck on people.
Which is exactly what I was waiting to slide back in there when you were talking about a Song of Summer needs like a social moment. In my perspective, like what I'm seeing is like all over my timeline every day, it's Meg Thee Stallion. So like, and Cash Shit. I'm glad like you brought that up. Like I think she's having like basically what you just said, like a moment, not like she only has one song, but like she has like a whole movement coming on.
I think her as an artist is the Song of the Summer. Like
that's what I'm trying.
She's everywhere, and it's rightfully so because Fever is like one of the best projects for one of the fun project that I listen to. I'm right off some songs that like I see. Shout out to Rap Caviar, Carl Cherry, Max, The London by Young Thug. I thought that was gonna be it. I don't know hopefully it keep on going. I love Lil Tecca, Ransom. I think I love that song.
I just interviewed him for Billboard, and he has like literally like what is he now? I think he's number 60 something on the Hot 100. And he comes in, I'm like, oh, so how do you feel about it? He's like, I guess it's cool. Like he's so nonchalant about it. I don't think he realizes how big it is because it's out of the whole country. But yeah, it's like it hasn't hit him yet, and he's just like a kid just enjoying
New York. It's just so crazy. It's like a different energy. I think probably the closest thing to maybe the Song of the Summer is Suge by DaBaby. Now that I think about it, that's just that's objectively just like you hear that and you're like, oh, this is dope.
I think Megatron has a shot.
I don't know.
I don't think it's stuck as much as people thought it would. When you heard the little snippet, you're like, oh my God, this is it. This is going to be at every single fucking party.
Yeah. It's a predictable snippet. I'd rather play the snippet in full rather than that.
The little
baseline, you know?
Yeah, I know, but like, I don't know. I personally liked it, but as I like threw it in the group chats and stuff, like people were like, oh, this is it? Like what? But I don't know. I
think my personal favorite is probably Tyler Earthquake. Like
that's where I am. Yeah.
Earthquake to I Know, like that 1-2. I think that's to me like that 2 songs in a transition to like I'm like that's my favorite everything right now of the year, music of the year.
I like how it's wide open enough that this is the year you could justifiably say like Tyler has the Song of the Summer over TJ Khaled. That's bizarre to think about 2 years ago.
Look at life. Okay, I think we're still waiting for the Song of the Summer.
Can I just slip one more in
please.
there?
No, so if you got songs you like, please.
So I came here with an agenda today. I don't know why it has taken me 30 minutes to say this, but I don't know if you guys have listened to the YG album, because I know a bunch of shit was going on that week when it came out. There's a song on there called Do Your Dance with RJ, Mitch,
with Kamaya,
Ty the Dollar Sign, and Kamaya. And it is
fire.
Everything that a summer song should be. And then I posted on my story like, guys, like why aren't we talking about this about the Song of Summer? And then everybody replied, because I have a lot of friends from LA. They're like, Regina, it is a Song of Summer. You're just on the East Coast.
Yes, totally great. That song.
If you haven't heard it, please listen to it. Do Your Dance by YG. I think it deserves like that. I think that would be my, after everything else that I've said. I know I've said a lot, but like that would be my pick for I want this to be the Song of the Summer.
Crazy because like I'm a huge Dom Kennedy fan, and then the thing with Dom Kennedy, he always comes out in the summer when we were growing up. Kamaya, I think could be and should be the new Dom Kennedy of this era. Where like she has the perfect sound, voice, everything that's just like let's just go outside and let's just hang. Yeah. And so I'm like I love that song. So,
it's so fire.
It's so good.
Like I want it to be like played more. Like I know it's gonna hit if like people play at like the cookouts and like all that, but hopefully it gets bigger in the East Coast.
Okay, so now the second half of the show, I want to discuss the albums we think are the best so far. 2019 has been like a really pretty good year for music, whereas we're getting like a lot of new music from a lot of different varieties of artists, whether it's hip hop, whether that's indie, whether that's R&B, chill wave, everything. So it's like we got a plethora of sounds, and so I just like wanted to get your opinions on like what are your favorite albums of the year so far, and what do you think is going to be on everybody's end of the year list, and who do you also expecting?
I had to cipher through it because a lot of the albums I expected to be like the top picks kind of like let me down. I remember listening to Flying Lotus for Magra. It was because Flying Lotus always has like a concept to his albums, but this one didn't really come across because it was like too many voices. Schoolboy Q has bangers on Crash Talk, but like as a concept, like it kind of falls apart. You just have to pick out three or four songs.
What do you mean as a concept it falls apart?
Because it was like you remember Blank Face. Like it has a storyline. It has a little like BS hits attempt there and there, but it was an engrossing listen. You could live inside it. Whereas Crash Talk is like it's a sorted mix. It kind of felt like, which is not used to it for the TDE release.
I love that album.
Yeah, I thought like once I understood the concept, for me it was more telling. Like I think it's fragmented for a reason. That's why you hear. I think it's Kendrick come in, Crash Talk, take whatever. Like, if you notice, every time he says that, he tries to go back into his like typical subject matter that people know him for. But because all of the deaths that he's experienced through his close friends and family over the last couple of years, he's not able to get in that bag. And that's when you see after that initial like, here's me attempting to get back there. Like every song after that is like expressing his hurt and stuff. So once I didn't get that on the first couple listens, but once I kind of saw it that way, it helped me wrap my mind around what he was trying to do.
Yeah.
But
that's very interesting.
For me, it's IGOR, like hands down. That it's been my most listened to, most impressed, most everything so far this year. It's just to me, it's kind of. I actually doing Flower Boy right now, my current season of Dissect, and part of me picking Flower Boy kind of early, I feel like for Tyler, like, I've done Kanye West, I've done Kendrick Lamar, and picking Tyler seems like the odd one out of that group. It's not the obvious choice. And me picking Flower Boy was trying to elevate him, not me personally, but just like helping to elevate him into this next kind of rung of artists. And hearing IGOR and him continuing that progression, I felt like he really established on Flower Boy was like just really, really exciting for me. And I feel like he really, really crystallized the sound that he's been searching for ever since Goblin. Like, you can hear him chasing that sound for the last 10 years. Yeah. And he was just so young and inexperienced. And I feel like the vision was so big, it was almost beyond him. And I feel like IGOR really put it all together for me.
I remember listening to it the first time, and I remember thinking like, hey, this feels very Solange influence. Then he like confirmed it. I think it was on Twitter and Instagram, whatever. Because like, I think like Tyler had his critical breakthrough last album, Solange 2 and Blood Orange. And the next album, you see the songs sort of get interconnected. You don't have like that immediate hit. You kind of have to sift through it. Except Earthquake. Earthquake is like fire thing, but like, isn't an album they bleed together. It's something you have to like rest with in full. Yeah. Same for when I get home, you have to live inside that space. Yeah. Blood Orange's last album too. So it's just to see the albums that kind of like react to critical acclaim that way. Like instead of like having like, I'm gonna make this big bang and this big bang, we're gonna have something like more interwoven. Yeah.
It's like an actual album, where everything's getting so splintered because of the way we consume music now. People still creating albums, I feel like should be applauded.
100%.
It's a great example of like, you can't just put on a song from that album, especially the new one. It's just, you have to, that's the world that you live in, you know, it's not something you just cherry pick from. So
I think it's crazy you say that because Tyler's album came out the same week as DJ Khaled's album. And I think DJ Khaled's album didn't stick as well as we thought.
Opposite. Yeah.
Because it was just a bunch of hits. Whereas you just said Tyler's album was like the art of making a complete album. That's why people are elevating that. And then DJ Khaled's were all like saying like, I don't know, like it's not
it's cool.
Which it was crazy to me, the reception that IGOR got. I thought people would not like it because it's so aesthetically different. But
Tyler did too.
Yeah, he kept saying like 50 times, I cannot believe you guys like this album. It was so like cute to see.
Yeah.
I just think we all were like just anticipating, we didn't anticipate the sound, but we're just like, there's something he's going to, because like Tyler reminds me of like Travis. When Travis came out, you can hear on Al Farrell like, yo, there's something happening here, but he's working through it. And then the whole thing about him was like, I remember Desmond put out this scathing article, and then was just like, he's just a this is one of the craziest articles I've ever seen. Like, he's a knockoff Cudi and Kanye.
Travis or Tyler?
Yeah, I remember.
And I just remember telling friends like, yo, give him a minute.
What time period was this? Like,
this was literally, I want to say,
when it first started popping up.
Al Farrell was already out, and he was already working on Days Before Rodeo. What was the second project after that, or the mixtape? It was between.
I think it was Days Before Rodeo.
It was between Days Before Rodeo and Al Farrell, or the Al Farrell and whatever project
super
right
early.
after that. Yeah, super
Okay.
early. My friends were like, "Yo, this is kind of true." I was like, "Give him a second."
and now look at him
And then
now.
you see them working towards a sound. So when you see Tyler, you can hear Tyler like, okay, this is really cool. Definitely sees influence by Pharrell, but you see like he's coming into his own. And IGOR was just like, wow,
like, yes,
like
that's what you want to happen to an artist. Like the growth, like he grew so much since like the whole like high school like crew, like Odd Future or whatever. And now look at him. It's like you're so like happy for him that he really found that.
Yeah, IGOR to me is clear cut the best album of the year. It was
Really?
just for me is
Yeah,
I had such a hard time picking because there's so many. I was looking through like a list and I was like, oh my god.
to me, I'm just like, that's the album I go to back. I listen to all the I can't get enough of that album because you just hear something new, find something new. Like I didn't even realize Michael Carmichael was on. Like you just were like, oh fuck, that's him talking on the album. And it's like, damn, good job, Tyler. I really enjoyed another concept album, Go Links.
Yes.
That album I think that's a really, really, really great album just because like he really, and talking, when he talked about like he lived outside of the country and just like, was essentially a nomad and just like, I'm going to UK and I'm living over here, and kind of just bringing all these different cultures together within the Black diaspora and not to use the word, but made it a complete body of work. And it's definitely something that I'm like, I'm just probably gonna be in my rotation for all year.
And in the perfect world, Zeus Kings would be Song of the Summer. Like it has a very cool Afrofuturistic aesthetic to it, and like you have a little bit but I think it was an Afrofuturistic element to it, especially coming after his other big hit Crew that drew me in. And it's like, it's a physically moving song.
Yeah. And you know what's crazy? I think probably my favorite song off the album was the song with Tyler, which is You Say. And I was like, yeah, this song is a fucking hit. But yeah, that's one of the ones. I think other stuff that's like really random for me, and that's up there. Toro Ima, I've totally butchered that, but that's Outer Pieces up there for me. Solange is up there for me. You know what's crazy? Flying Lotus, I actually enjoyed it. And I hear what you're saying about it's not being a concept, but I was like, I really, really enjoyed just like playing it and letting it go. Jim Jones, El Capo. I'm just going, that album.
I've been sleeping on that. I got to get around to
I
it.
haven't listened yet.
I love Jim Jones. And so last year he came out with a really good album, and I was like, oh, fuck. This album is really, really good. Jim Jones, to me, may sound crazy. Nah, this probably is crazy. If you stack up Jim Jones' discography with Cam, I think it could be an interesting conversation, really spicy, with who has the best overall discography.
Yeah.
I don't disagree. I have to see his discography, but like I could see that.
Because initially it feels fucking sacrilegious to say that, because
I don't think so. Like when you said that, I was like, okay, yeah, like
when I come home, it's such like Cam has like monster albums, but then Jim, for me, Poem is like, oh my god, the album is like change everything for me. And then just longevity, like Jim Jones have been putting out bodies of work that's been like really great. It's no longer the sound, quote unquote, of what's happening, but it's been like solid.
Can I talk about so my pick would be, I just need to say this right now, I'm a Dreamville stan. But even if I wasn't, I would be saying that Shea Butter Baby by Ari Lennox is one of the best R&B albums that we've heard in a while. Not even just from a woman. Like I just think objectively, like she killed it, and she has the talent to back it up. And like this whole moment that Dreamville is having, like I wish podcast had come like after Revenge of the Dreamers 3 came out, because I would probably just spent the whole hour talking about that. But yeah, so I really enjoyed Shea Butter Baby.
Yeah, Shea Butter is really, really good.
Let me pick out one guy. I feel like I've being really negative.
Yeah.
I guess for me it'd be Billy Woods and going underground. Billy Woods and Kenny Siegel's hiding places, because like I realized this when I was at Anderson .Paak's concert. It was at Madison Square Garden, and Earl Sweatshirt was opening. And for a while, I couldn't put a finger on why do I like Earl Sweatshirt's music, but like I'll listen to it. It's like it has this very physical element, the way he raps, like these words cascade over you. You know, it's like you taking a shower and like Earl's verses, you know, and I get that same sense with Hiding Places. It's like very like gripping, like you fighting the album, you know. Like I think it was this band called Show Me the Body that was. One of the men had a quote: I know music is good. It's like if I want to fight it or fuck it, and I want to fight Hiding Places, because it's like it feels so something you could see. So, and I don't really get that from most of the album that came out this year.
Another standout for me was James Blake, Assume Form.
Yes.
I've been listening to that still. I think it came out in February or January, but that for me it's beautiful. The whole thing is just gorgeous. And I saw him live at the Fox Theater in Oakland, and his voice was like immaculate, like angelic. Like it was
such
insane.
Like a
spot on.
It was really crazy. But that, which I don't know, are you guys familiar with that enough to like kind of speak on it? Because I'm curious to know if other people are still listening to it even.
Totally. Like I love James Blake, and like you go to his show and you leave, you feel like a better person. Just like, okay, this is well worth the investment. I think was it Pitchfork that knocked it because it was too positive? Which I thought was. I don't get that.
I didn't get it either. Like it's all about love, and like he's clearly in love. And if you compare it to his prior work, I mean, his prior work was definitely not positive at all. So it's kind of nice, refreshing to have an album that is just celebrating love. I thought that was really, really great.
Yeah. So y'all here finding love, James Blake? Hell's wrong with you?
You got music to make.
You know what's crazy? Because my friend was talking about I don't know why, but it's weird to hear positive music now when everything is just so depressed or just, dark. I'm just also thinking like, damn, why is it down it's like in? This may sound horrible, but I'm just like, it's okay to like I remember Tyler Flower Boy, and then people were like legit mad at him, and they were like, it's like, yo, I'm happy. Like, why do I have to explain that I'm happy? I'm happy, so I'm gonna make happy music. Also James Blake, I'll Come Too, one of my favorite songs of the year. Yeah, listen to that.
I feel like it's hard to like make a good positive album because it feels so alien to most of us. You know, I think that's the one reason why Bodak Yellow hit, because like it's a struggle.
I think because of the news, it's just God, everything's on the news is just negative. You're like, why are you happy?
Exactly.
The world's burning,
and they're like come from a distant spot that like it doesn't affect them. Like you're very aware of that, So like when you hear an artist that's like, "Hey, I was where you were at," and it's like, "Oh," and they tell you like, "Oh, you could be this." That works, but you have to do it well. So it's not like this weird Horatio Alger story that's like very unattainable,
Before I forget, Boogie's Everything for Sale. That's
it's good.
That's one of my favorite of the years. Also, I'm happy for him because at first I'm just like, man, I'm not sure what's gonna happen because this whole shady thing looks just, I don't know. I was like, is this the mess? It's going to mess him up, and he put out his best project that he ever put out. I really, really like that album.
I don't know if this is going to make sense, but when I was scrolling through like what albums came out this year, and then I was like, oh wait, Boogie literally came out, what was it, like January? So I forgot it came out this year. Yeah. Like I remember thinking like, I love that album and it was great. Like it was his best body work so far. And my favorite song is Live 95, Live 95. But it didn't stick for me. Like I don't replay it.
I love that. I go back.
I think it was such a good album, but I just don't replay it, if that makes sense. But I agree. Like I really love that album as well.
Slowthai, I'm got into that like when it came out, and that's one of my favorites of the year. That and Dave as ours, it's like stuff coming out of the U.S. outside of the U.S. Those two are like standouts. I think Dave's Psychodramas, probably one of the most, going to be at the end of the day one of the most important rap albums to come out of there when it's like look back in time. Like it was, I didn't know how big of a deal it was when that his album went #1 in the UK. And so some of my friends came over. It's like, yo, that doesn't happen. I need you to understand, like rap albums are in the UK are like the bottom on this list. Like the fact that that's happened shows like a change of time, and also shows that like, yeah, Dave is someone that's probably going to be a superstar. And I was like, yo, Psychodrama is really, really good.
Happy for him. And anyway, I'm just doing what any of you think about Father of the Bride.
You know, I honestly just started getting that a couple of weeks ago. It's good. It's really good. But all my friends are like, yeah, that's probably one of the best of the year as well. So I'm just like, I got to sit through it.
Yeah, people keep telling me to listen to it. I just haven't put the time in because I really want to actually listen when I listen to it. But yeah, I've heard good things about it.
I keep listening to it, but I just never could get into it. I missed the scope when it comes to Vampire Weekend album. And I feel like this one's very narrow for like an album of this length. So I kind of just get tuned out.
Yeah. You know what I got into? I got into Big Thief, the album they put out this year.
I heard that's fantastic.
Yeah, that album was really good. I was like, oh shit, this album was like really, really good.
You were like, this album is really good. I was like, oh shit, this album is really good.
Yeah, because like you listen to it, and like we probably all get like recommendations from people like, hey, check this out.
Yeah.
You may like this just because it just comes with being in the music industry. And then sometime you're like, man, why? I'm like, all right, let me just, 3 people recommended it to me. Let me just check it out. So I was like, oh, this is cool. And I listened to it randomly again. I was like, oh, this album is really, really good. I'm like, okay.
Was it an emotional listen?
It was just like stirring. I don't know, like it just felt like when I used to listen to like bands when I was a kid, it was just like the reason why I loved it, because it would just evoke emotion out of me. Like whether it's happy, sad, it just makes you feel something. And I feel like that album was just like, I'm listening to it, I'm just like, man, it's gonna be like theme music of just like the week. Like you just go through the week and it's a song that can like fit.
I feel like for me, like it's something I have to get physically ready for. So those was an album. Let's say I had to get physically ready to listen to Butterfly. I get physically ready to listen to Kid A. You know, I remember I was listening to it. I think it was the weekend when ACS came out. But you've seen When ACS. You can't watch that and then listen to another that type of album. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I'll get around to it. I'll get around to Big Thief.
Surprise! I really like Emotional Oranges. That one was like really good. I was like, oh, this is really cool. I want to see what this goes. Oh, Maxo Little Big Man. This is cat from I think he's from the West Coast. I heard a song of his on YouTube, and I was like, oh, this is really dope. Let me just check it. I check him later when he get his album out, and I heard the album, and I was like, yo, this dude's actually really good. Like, and it's like just very thought provoking. He's an amazing storyteller, and I'm just like, yeah, I really enjoyed this album, and Ariana Grande.
I just saw her in Philly, was it 2 days ago? She has like a God-given talent. The show was so long and she sounds exactly the same throughout. And she's hitting like the highest of the highest notes like physically possible. And like no voice cracks, no nothing. Like she's like incredible. So
yeah. I'm never running to pop albums. Like let me look up there's a list of them. I was just like, whatever single's out, I'm cool with it. But listen to it just like on a random Sunday, and I was like, oh shit, this is actually really, really good.
There's not a single weak song on there. Like I was hating on Seven Wings when it came out, but in the concept of the album, you could stomach it. Yeah, you could stomach it. You know.
I don't think it's like super pop, so like it does hit.
Yeah,
like,
it's definitely like lean towards R&B. So it's just like it was interesting. I was just like, yeah, I could put this on.
Sticking with the kind of pop vein, what did you guys think about Billie Eilish? Did you guys listen to her?
I enjoyed it.
Yeah.
There's definitely some songs where I'm just like, yeah, I'm just probably too old to write to the game. So there's definitely moments where just like, I see the enjoyment of this, but I probably won't put it on. But I think without a doubt, she's a bona fide superstar.
Yeah.
Just for the fact, just looking and just seeing how she's talking, I'm like, oh yeah, she's wildly talented. Mm-hmm. It's just some things just like, oh yeah, I'm just a stick for me.
I listen to it a lot, partly because my 4-year-old daughter really likes it too. So it's like, it serves us both. But more than the album, I'm just so fascinated where she's going to take music. I feel like she's
so young.
Yeah, she's 17 and
so
she's like
crazy,
synthesizing so many things just naturally. And I feel like she's going to be a leader of the pack in terms of where just the aesthetic of pop music goes.
Yeah. I totally agree. I just think she's like as an artist. As a person, I'm just like fascinated by her.
Yeah.
I'm just like she's just scratching the surface because this can go so much bigger.
Yeah.
And I think she's definitely going to be the face of it all. And I'm just like, could this be Britney Spears big? Could this be can anything be that big? Could this
because she's already so big.
Does she want to be Britney Spears big?
Yeah,
I
because she's
know.
already like, don't call me the face of pop, the new face of pop.
Yeah.
Like she's just like, yeah, don't call me that. And I like that, and I love her personality. But this, like, I wonder how humongous can she go?
Yeah.
Bad Guy, I think, is number 2 in the country so far.
Yeah.
And number 1, Old Town Road.
Yay.
Thanks for get that record.
Have you guys heard of Lucky Day?
Yes.
I don't know if it was an album or an EP, but Painted.
Yeah.
Oh my
Album.
God. One of my favorite singers out right now.
Yeah, I think Lucky Day definitely
He's
gonna
like-
be a superstar.
Do you listen to Lucky Day? Because
No.
and Anderson .Paak is like one of my favorite artists, so I would not just like lightly be saying this, but he has like a Frank Ocean-esque voice, but like the funk and like the grooviness of Anderson .Paak. So I feel like he would like
All right,
him.
I'll check it out for sure.
He's really good. Like I love Karma.
Yeah.
When I heard Karma, I
the
was like,
pony
oh.
sample.
I was like, the second EP, I was like, yeah, this is good. 2 albums that I think are like, well, I guess we talked about this. We talked about Megan, but 2 other albums I think is like really fun, and I really enjoyed the Baby on Baby and Young Nudy Pierre Bourne album. I was like, both those albums listen to in heavy rotation.
Me too. Me too.
Pierre Bourne cannot miss. He hasn't missed for a while.
He's really good. And then like that Nudie Pierre did, like Pierre got Nudie to make like records. Like once they put out Pissy Pamper, Kid Cudi on iTunes, like that was the song that was gonna take Nudie to the next to be a superstar. And it's so crazy because like, even without that project is like still
Pierre's
fire.
like, I got you.
Nudi's about to blow the fuck up.
Yes.
Not just because of the freshman cover, but like just like he's about to like take off. I mean, I know he's like big already, but like his moment is coming.
And Pierre is the music industry's best A&R, apparently. Yeah.
I totally forgot about Rico Nasty and Kenny Beats. I really enjoyed
Yes.
that.
And they threw that together within like a few days.
Yeah.
But their chemistry is just crazy. So
Kenny Beats is having like a really good year. It's really interesting to hear the type of sounds he's making. And it's like, all right, this guy, it's crazy talented.
It's like it sounds like a horror movie with like coated with sugar each time. Like I remember Vince Staples Outside. It has that same weird like that key line, and you just like hop into the bass line, and it does that each again and again on Rico's Nasty record. Like I'm very pro Kenny Beats and Rico Nasty.
Yeah. What else? Oh, I thoroughly enjoyed Denzel Curry's album.
Yes.
Yeah.
I enjoyed it because I love Denzel because like he's so Florida, but like this project was like peak Denzel, peak Florida, peak like rap. Just everything that's great about him was like captured on this album, and I'm like, I love that project.
I love it when they like have a very local viewpoint, but it never feels esoteric.
Exactly.
You know, Solange does that really well, and I feel Denzel Curry does that well too.
have you guys listened to the SOB XRB? Because I remember thinking to myself, I wanted new music from them, but so I don't know how I missed this, but like, did you guys listen to this album?
Yeah, the
or
album's
was it good? Or
The album's good. Like I think Complex got it like what 48.
oh, okay.
Like the album's
Okay,
definitely
gotta
like
go check that out.
SOB RB. They don't do bad projects. Gonna Drip and Drown 2 was cool.
It was pretty good, yeah.
But I think my favorite, without a doubt, my favorite's IGOR. I think that's where I'm at with that. Then Solange probably right there. And then after that, it's just like, it's a bit murky. It's like Boogie, Ari Lennox, Coffee. I love that EP. And then, yeah, it's just murky after that.
What are you guys looking forward to?
Revenge of the Dreamers 3. It's gonna be all over your timeline. You heard it here first.
Yeah, I think Revenge of the Dreamers.
Oh my gosh. Can I just mention my favorite rapper right now? Not of like all time, but right now is YBN Cordae. I think he's like the best out of like the younger rappers, and he's dropping his debut next month. So I've been talking so much about how he's the next big thing. So if this flops, people are gonna just. But it's not gonna flop. I believe in Cordae. I believe in you. But like, so I'm excited for those two.
It's so interesting because of him because he's a rapper. Like he's one of the best young rappers I like
That's
lyric
actually
wise
rapping.
I've seen in a minute. But he's making these records that are so fun, like the whole girls.
Location ship.
Yeah, location ship. I was like, wow, like okay. And
He
then
appreciates hip hop and like he studied
making
hip hop.
it, yeah. Oh, Polo G. Sorry.
Oh, yeah.
I'm such a good man. Polo G.
Yes.
That project. Oh
Yeah.
man. How did I forget that? That project is phenomenal. He's making fantastic music.
Bless him.
Oh, right?
Yes.
I heard that project and I just clapped. I was just like, yes,
Well
good job.
done.
Album I'm looking forward to. Hopefully
see.
Rihanna is out with a project.
So I want to look forward to Revenge of the Dreamers, Steve, but it's like it's so hyped that I feel like it can't like
Oh,
Right.
you think so?
you know.
The
I
training
was thinking
camp,
that.
the promo for the training camp was amazing. I was like, oh, killed it.
Like
Nah,
it's
they
too-
gonna kill it. Nah,
it's
they
too
gonna live up
much,
to
too many
it.
voices. I feel like it's about to be a super team like the 04-05 Lakers.
But like the two, oh no, actually they're not Song of the Summer, but the Down Bad and the other song with Ty Dolla $ign, the two that they dropped from it. I thought those hit. Like I
Yeah,
thought they
really
were like
strong.
really good. So
Really
I'm like looking very forward to that.
Shit, I'm not trying to think. I'm really blacking out. Like what's?
Maxo Cream's Brandon.
Oh yeah, Maxo Cream.
That's
yeah.
gonna, when that drops, you heard it here first.
That's
when
gonna
that
be-
drops, it drops this week. What I'm doing? Does it drop this week?
No, I feel like I can't. Does
It
it?
drops very soon.
I want to say sometime in July, maybe. I don't know. I hope.
Every time
Probably-
somebody asks that, I forget
No,
everything.
it drops
that like
July. I got like a little under a month to get ready for Brandon Banks.
Looking forward to. I think Frank Ocean's due.
I think so.
And he always releases in July. So
You said who?
Frank Ocean.
Oh, you think he's gonna release new music?
It's been 3 years, so
It's been 3 years since
Yeah.
Blonde.
yeah.
No, it hasn't. Wow.
Yeah, 3 years. Yeah, you're right. You're right.
Feels like something's coming.
Feels about right. I'm hoping Jamie XX put out because it's been like a long time as well. And I was listening to Good Times. I was like,
No.
what a beautiful
Now
summer
that
that
is a
was.
song of the summer.
The
Yeah.
song of every summer.
Of course, Freddie Gibbs and Madlib.
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Once that's dropped, it's just like,
Yeah.
I'm spending a full day with
Yeah,
this.
for sure.
I want to say that's it. I don't know. I feel like
We're
forgetting a lot
definitely
of
forgetting
shit.
like one really big like one, but whatever.
Little
comes
Uzi
out.
Verts, if it comes out.
little, yeah.
Yeah, he said he went from like, oh, it's coming in like 2 weeks to like,
I'm not sure when it's coming
Yeah,
out. So
real quick.
hopefully
Hope it
that
comes out.
happens.
yeah, everyone's waiting for Uzi.
Like he hasn't
so.
dropped a weak song since he's been teasing the album.
Right?
So you want it to come out.
Like I still go back to Shells. That feature verse he gave.
Yeah, like what was that? Yo.
Like, well, he must have been locked in that day.
It's like he posted a fire Instagram pic, go in the booth, comes out with like free Uzi, and then like, where's the 10 on take? I don't know. It's the most frustrating cycle ever.
He may be the genius or just this is just a complete mess. All right, I'm trying to think. All right, so maybe Kanye, maybe Rihanna. Drake's not coming out this year. Who else is a huge artist that?
Beyonce seems maybe due. I don't know. It seemed like
Maybe.
she was gearing up, but then it was just, I guess, homecoming.
It may be just the
Yeah.
homecoming. Like, yeah, that's all y'all got. That's all I got for me.
What about the Before I Let Go But Homecoming version? Is that not like a contender for Songless Summer? Because that's something that's actually being played everywhere that people
Yeah.
are dancing to and stuff.
That's up there. But you know what's crazy? I would talk to like people who are older than me, and they were like, "This is kind of they appreciate it, but the original version
Oh,
is so
what?
untouchable."
Yeah, you can
Because
never.
the original version, like even the younger generations ain't used to that too.
Yeah.
So
yeah,
you got,
it's still love. It's not like, oh,
It's
what
just
you
like-
know about this? It's like we do know about
Now,
Before
I
I Let
feel
Go.
like-
like even Beyonce can't take over that song.
Yeah,
Okay,
my,
you're right.
my
Okay,
DJ
yeah.
homie said like you have to mix it now. You have to start with the
That- yeah.
the older,
Because people still
and
want
then-
the original.
yeah.
Okay,
because
you're
you
right.
go to older, you do electric slide, and then you mix it with the Beyonce version, and everybody turns up. So it's like, all right,
It's like the special delivery mix in Lil Wayne's Uproar.
Yeah.
It's kind of like that.
I'm
I
trying
think
to think.
Chance the Rapper.
Chance, yeah, Chance.
Oh
Definitely
no, he
coming.
actually
Yeah, Chance
is. It's
definitely
like
coming out.
confirmed coming out.
Yeah, Chance definitely
Yeah.
coming out. I feel like Kendrick has been like a couple of years, but I don't think he's coming out
Ooh,
this
okay,
year.
so did you guys see the crazy day in Vegas lineup?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
it's
TD
November
has,
3rd,
like-
yeah.
TD has like the whole third day on lock, and I'm thinking
wow.
they did that because a Kendrick
Yeah, it
project
seems
is
about
coming
due,
out.
Yeah.
Because the Damn has been like a
2
few years.
years,
Yeah. So I'm like maybe at least a
2017, yeah.
single. maybe at least a new single around that time.
Something new because
I had
he's
a dream,
headlining.
like literally last night that Kendrick released a new, like he didn't tell anyone, he just uploaded it. They didn't post about it, and it has like this. It had a black cover, all black cover. And there's a name that was really good. It was in my dream, obviously. It's not the actual album. But anyways, yeah.
I really want that to.
I'm good. Kendrick take some time because he dropped a new project like consecutive years from 2015 to 2018.
Yeah.
So I'm going to take him to like 2021.
I can't wait to 2020. I can't wait to 20. I need 20. I think that's maybe. I'm trying to think new artists that I'm really excited about us dropping.
Have you guys heard of this Nigerian? He's on the verge of like superstardom. Rema. Yeah.
Literally I'm about to write about him. Yeah, Rema and Santi are so exciting, and so I'm excited. Santi just put out his project. I think Rema's gonna be really good. And I cannot think of anybody else.
Whenever Matt Comey drops or whatever project he's about to drop.
Who?
Matt Comey.
Yeah. Oh fuck, Benny the Butcher. That project is crazy. Damn. That's probably my favorite. That's probably, if not my favorite rap project, one of my favorite rap projects right now.
Like a rapper is good when Black Thought comes out his way and it gives you like a 5 verse. Like when Black Thought gives you like I'm gonna give you something hot, and it's like one of the hottest verses in the album, you're doing good.
Yeah, that project is amazing.
Yeah, I have love for those guys because like they're from Buffalo and you don't have a lot of Buffalo rappers that coming out like at all like on the national scene. So like to see them do what they're doing. Griselda Crew, which means West Side Gun, Benny the Butcher, and Conway. That's really inspiring to watch.
Yeah. So I guess to wrap things up, I would say, do anybody want to plug anything? This is the time to plug whatever you want to plug. And
no, I'd say follow me, Broken Rock, BKLYN_rock.
Listen to Dissect on Spotify or wherever you get podcasts.
Follow me everywhere, Regina Cho, Reggie_Nacho. It's just Regina Cho with the underscore in the middle. And Revenge of the Dreamers 3 is going to be the project of the year.
All the artists who are listening to this, we probably forgot a lot of things to talk about, but it's only an hour here, so sorry, no disrespect. I guess you got to put that out there. And yeah, thank you guys for coming through. Honestly, this is really, really great. I follow all three of y'all individually and like all your work y'all done, so this is something I'm really happy. Thank y'all for coming out.
Yeah, thanks, man.
Well, that's today's episode of Mike Line, and thanks for tuning in. You can listen to more episodes of Mike Line and everything Hypebeast Radio at hypebeast.com/radio. Subscribe to Mike Line on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Anchor, or wherever you get your podcasts. Feel free to reach out to me on Twitter at ECM_LP and follow Hypebeast Music for more original content. Let us know who you like to have on the show, and thank you for listening to Mike Line.